Good afternoon, everyone. Brian here with Basscast Radio. Hope everyone out there in Radio Land is doing well. Welcome to 2024. You guys heard it right here. This is the first show for us of 2024. I hope you guys were all able to listen to our last episode of Before the First Cast. Just quick recap, guys. Me and Bass Geek talked about the season, thoughts on next year, our goals for next year. This year now. So head on over and take a listen to the last episode of Before the First Cast. So appreciate you guys listening to that. But welcome to 2024. We got a lot of great shows lined up for you all. Really excited about the season and what's going to be going on here at the basscast.com. Guys, a couple things I've added to the website, so head on over and check them out as well. We've actually added, you guys have responded how important weather was to you, so I added some weather information for you guys. Right now it is here at my house. I'll tell you that right now, but we're looking at expanding on that. And you will be able to get up-to-date weather information as well as a 24-hour weather radar system that tracks for 10 days the weather that's happening across the United States. And if you want to zoom in, the cool thing about the weather map is you can zoom in, zoom out. You can check the wind, how everything is moving, storms are moving, anything that you need before you hit the water, so you have an idea of what's happening. So a lot of stuff there. And then we introduced another new aspect of the basscast.com. And it's news from around the globe. This is something I'm a huge fan of Yahoo, guys. I've loved Yahoo since it started. And this is something that I wanted to implement onto the basscast.com. And these are RSS feeds. These are feeds from other websites. Guys, I apologize. Some of the photos did not come through. I don't have any control over that. But there's podcasts, there's news, there's website information from other websites, and there's a little bit of Instagram on there as well from some top bass anglers that their post will show up on this page. And all you got to hit the button it's kind of slow now because the season is just starting. But if you head on to the basscast.com now and check it out, give it an hour, refresh. I mean, it's news being populated, stories, YouTube videos, podcast, you name it. We want to keep you in the know in the world of bass fishing. And our posts as well are included in that. So if you just want to sit on there one day and be like, hey, what's going on today? It's cool. I want to listen to a podcast show. It pops up the latest podcast show. So that's what's new for 2024 so far for you guys. Schedules are still coming in, guys. I'm still posting schedules. So if you know someone in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia that run a tournament series that would like to be a part of the Basscast family and have their schedule on our website, just message me on any social media or media at thebasscast.com is the email address. And you can send everything over there. So we're still taking tournament schedules. I still got a bunch left to put on. I know I do. What else we got? So we got that. And then we got the Basscast tournament schedule. That's up. I was on the latest episode, which I think it's dropping tomorrow. I'm fishing the DWR, which would be the same day I upload this podcast. And we talk about the Basscast schedule for 2024. We talk about Major League Fishing. And we just take a look back of what all is happening in the world of bass fishing. So fishing the DWR. Thank you to Thomas for having us on the show again. Really love being on the show. And guys, that's another show we're going to plan as well. Thomas is going to be on Basscast Radio. And we're going to have him on. Me and Geek are going to talk about him. And we get a great topic that we're going to be talking about that we think is going to be affecting the bass fishing world for quite a long time. So fishing the DWR, Thomas is going to be a guest with us. So we look forward to that. So head on over and check out his podcast show as well. Support the boys from Virginia, man. I mean, head on over, hit the like, hit the share, both shows, I mean, we both do what I think is a very good job, great job, I think. But share us with all your friends and all your fishing buddies. So thank you. That's how we keep the show going, is you hitting the share button and telling everyone. So tonight, guys, it all begins next week. If you haven't heard, it's Expo season. That's right. It's Expo time. I'm going to be gone for the next 3 weekends, and my guest will be gone for the next 3 weekends as well. Then we got another one in February that we're going to. So the season is getting right to get your mind in gear for Expo season time. Guys, if you haven't seen the story yet, I'm going to share it again. I'll probably put it in the show notes for you guys. Is taking a different approach to fishing expos, making 2024 a successful season. It's a great read. It just kind of gives you guys some ideas and some tips. We kind of go to a show, our eyes get all excited. We see the new latest bait from 6th Sense, and we kind of dive into that. But take a look back and make you up a shopping list of items that you think that you would need that would help you become a better angler, or something that you want to try new in 2024, and do a lot of research, and pick up a bunch of these baits, try a bunch of different companies, and find one that works best for you, because there's nothing like buying from local tackle distributors and dealers. And a lot of these guys from a lot of the shows that I'm going to be attending make it themselves. I mean, they make it themselves, they market themselves, they work on their own website 90% of them themselves. So you are supporting local when you buy from probably, I ain't gonna say 60%, maybe 70% of these dealers. Guys, I want to do a quick rundown before our guest comes on tonight. Guys, don't forget Angler's Choice. Their 2024 Expo season is coming up January the 19th and 20th in Lexington, 26th and 27th in Martinsville, and February the 2nd and the 3rd in Spindale. They got some amazing guests that are going to be with that. Be on that. Be with them there. The full lineup is on their website. And guys, the link in this story are all clickable links, and it'll take you to their website. The January the 12th to the 14th is the Bass and Saltwater Expo. That's another one I'll be at. The Richmond Fishing Expo is the week after that, the 19th through the 21st at Meadowwood Event Park. And January the 25th through the 28th, that's the East Tennessee Fishing Show and Expo. Guys, that's one you don't want to miss at all if you don't mind taking the trip. And then we got another one in Fishersville, Virginia, and that is the Augusta County 10th Annual Fishing and Outdoor Expo. And that's one I was talking about, February the 10th and 11th. So there it is. I'm going to put this story in the show notes so you guys can check it all out. All right, tonight, guys, Mr. Mike DelVisco is on with us. If you guys have ever had a chance of meeting Mike DelVisco, you are missing out. This dude knows electronics. I mean, he is Mr. Electronics, but he also has a lot to do with the East Tennessee Fishing Expo. So we're going to talk to him, catch up with what he's got going on with his business in 2024, and then we're going to dive in to what you can expect if you head down to Knoxville, Tennessee. Knox Vegas, Tennessee, everybody. Guys, there's more than just the expo there. There's so much stuff happening in Tennessee. Take your wife, take your family, take your kids. If I remember correctly, I think I read it's $10 to get in, $5 to $10 to get in. It's a great time. It's a great show. A lot of handmade products. But we're going to let Mike DelVisco talk to you all about it. Mike, welcome back to Basscast Radio. It's great to have you on the show. It seems like the last couple of years, you've been pretty much our first guest every year because, guys, it's Expo time. And it's time to get out there with your buddies, your friends, your kids, your wife, whichever one you want to take with you, and explore all the many expos that are happening right here in Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and in many, many, many other places. There are so many to list. It's crazy. But Before we dive into Expo talk, man, what has been happening with Mr. DelVisco, man?
Well, the and first of all, nice being on with you here, Brian.
Always,
Always,
man.
always a pleasure to be on the podcast here. And well, for the last probably 3 months, I've been working on this little sonar project. You probably know about it already. And that's kind of my specialty in the bass fishing industry. Is I've been around this game for a long time, 4 decades now, and I kind of grew up with not having any sonar fishing out there on tour to have all of a sudden having, some basic stuff that, technology and then, seeing how this thing's grown over the years and, to where it is now.
Yeah.
And I've kind of been kind of on the forefront of a lot of this stuff and I've taught it for a long time at sport shows like it's what's coming up here and Bassmaster University and other places and doing on the water trips with people. And I kind of turned all of that stuff because I've always had all this video
Mm-hmm.
um, product. And I said, well, how do I kind of capitalize on what I've got to share it with more people? So I had an idea about a year ago to do a course. And I put together the very first course. It's called Get Sonar, Understanding Your Sonar.
Yep. I remember that.
And, yeah. And what I've done is I've taken a lot of those videos and I've tweaked them to kind of fit today's age and added a bunch of new content. And I've put together a 5 module, 32 lesson video course that's now you can go on and purchase it. It's really easy. It's all behind my website. You got full access to it as much as you can. It's video based. It covers all the brands. I can update it when new content comes out and things like that. And it's done really well. And kind of my thought with this over the last year and a half doing some of these on the water trips, I've noticed that I've had a lot of high school kids
That's
and
awesome.
and parents saying, "Hey, I just got a new boat," or my son or my daughter just got into high school or junior high fishing, and I just don't know anything about it. But I'm their captain for their boat. I need to understand how to operate these electronics. And some are very basic. Some don't have all the bells and whistles that everybody else has, and some people go out and get a full blown bass rig with 4 graphs and you know
Forward facing sonar, everything
yeah,
that they
four
got
basic
now.
sonar, everything. So I get both ends of it, and long and short is the kids want to learn more, and the coaches and the captains and the parents want to learn more too. So I've made this course available to the high school and junior high teams in a license form,
Oh,
meaning
wow.
their entire team can get the content. And I make it really simple for them. I've been combining a bunch of these with some talks for the schools. So I've been going out and meeting the parents and the students and the captains and doing a little presentation, and then they get we do the deal and they get the content for an entire year, which is great. So that's been going real well. So that's consumed a bunch of my time getting everything shot, and it's gone so well that I decided, well, I'm going to do another course. So we've
Oh,
got one.
dang.
Yeah, we got one premiering the end of this month called 4 Seasons of Sonar. I was trying to think of where to go. After you learn how to use all your sonar, you got to go find some fish. So I took that, and when what I'm doing is each of the seasons, so winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm doing a 4 module. I don't know how many lessons it's going to be. Probably going to be close to 30 again. And I'm picking the primary patterns of that season. So winter
That
we're
is
going to do,
awesome.
we're going to do some live scope stuff, some ditch stuff, some shallow stuff, some transition things, warming trends, cold snaps, all this stuff, and we're going to do it with the basis of using your sonar to find all these areas and then how to catch some fish. So a good kind of a good second course to what I did in the first one.
That is awesome. Because, hey, guys, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I did a couple of courses and I was just playing around with something on the internet. And it's a lot of time Mike's got involved in these. And that was just something, it was just something like life jacket or safety and changing your lower unit oil, and it was just some basic tips. And it took forever to do it, just the research it goes into it and everything that's involved in it. Mike, are you still, you talked about being at expos and doing your presentations. Are you still doing a lot of your presentations like in groups and stuff like that? Are you still having those, and then like an intro presentation, then you can go check out the rest of our course, and you guys can learn more after this hour talk that you do?
Yeah, and kind of what I'm doing in the, if I go and meet with a bunch of schools, like I did a deal in Kentucky about a month ago now, where a friend of mine who actually, Chris Ferguson, who does the casting for kids, you probably know,
Yeah. Oh
and he
yeah.
does big kids tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's heavily involved in his community up there, and we had 4 different high schools come in, and we did a big seminar presentation. So I came in and I talked, but I kind of catered the talk around using bits and pieces of the course to kind of tease people with it, and then so they would see a little bit more about how it was all formed and things like that and what they'd actually learned. So yeah, doing stuff like that, and then obviously the seminars at expos is my typical, little different from the course, but still some of that same material.
It's awesome.
Understanding sonar, and then we
Yeah.
take it out of the water. We do a kind of a two-part thing during the expo show seminars and stuff like
No,
that.
let's talk about the on the water thing, because that's how I really, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know who you were for quite a long time. And some friends of mine said, this guy from down south's been coming up here, and he's talking about teaching these classes, and he, took a couple different anglers on the water, and showed him, and I was like, who is that? And it was like Mike DelVisco, and I was like, who? I still didn't know who you were. I mean, it was, like I said, it's back in the day.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I mean, talk about the on the water, what you can kind of expect from a day. And if you want to throw out the price, that's more, money
Yeah.
talks. But I mean, because it's a lot of information. And like you were saying, you know, Mike, I remember just a couple of years ago, we were talking about down scan, side scan. I mean, and that was just a couple, I mean, maybe 5 years ago. We were just
Right.
talking about that. I mean, that was like, man, I gotta say, they're talking about how everything was set up and going deep into that. And now, holy cow, it's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's involved. It's funny you said that, because I was, over the Christmas holiday here. I had a couple of down days, so I started looking through some video, and I found the 2015 Bassmaster Classic, which is
Oh
not a
wow.
long time ago. Okay, that was
Yeah.
one that Casey Ashley won, and
Yep.
it was Lake Hartwell. And Lake Hartwell is a lake that I traveled to go do a lot of these on the water, sonar courses. And it's funny that everyone there was using 2D sonar to catch spotted bass out deep. Nobody
That's
had live scope. Live scope wasn't around then, I guess.
yeah, no. Yeah.
And that's only what, so 8 years ago, 8, 9 years ago now.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
so and think back, to 2009 when side scan came about.
Yeah.
Everybody was talking about that. Oh, it's going to change everything. It's just technology. But yeah, the on the water stuff kind of happened because, when I moved here to Tennessee from South Carolina, I moved on to Douglas Lake.
Right.
And there's some downtime when we're not touring, or I'm not doing appearances for sponsors or doing seminars. So I said, man, I know so much about this sonar stuff, and no one's teaching it on the water.
Mm-hmm.
There was a couple of guys that do some type of teaching, but it's not like what I do. So basically, what I do is I get right in the boat with the customer in their boat. It
Right.
doesn't do any good to know what I fish with.
Mm.
It's got to be your equipment. So, and a lot of it is settings, and I'll go through the units, whether they're Humminbirds, Garmin's, or Lowrance's. I do all 3 brands. Um, a lot of people just like to push every button, and they get their stuff all messed up, and then they can't see anything if they don't know what they're seeing. So that's kind of where I come in. And I'll get everything looking good, show them what all the settings do. Here's, the reason why this frequency works good in this depth of water, and this frequency works good in that depth
Right.
of water. And then what you need to do to make it look good because the lower frequency doesn't look good sometimes, and people don't think it's any good until you adjust it. So I go through all that stuff, and then I kind of show them what fish look like, and brush and rocks and drop offs, and how do you find fish using mapping and all that stuff. And it takes me an hour and a half or so to run through everything. Unless there's some real issues that I'm pretty good at troubleshooting stuff, which, you get a lot of people that don't understand that, this stuff's got to be hooked up the right way too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I explained all that. And then hopefully by the time I'm done, they can go out and go find their own fish and go catch their own fish. I don't want to be a guide. I don't do any of that. We don't fish while we're out there. I just simply push the buttons and
How
look at
so
stuff.
how long do you usually spend out there with it? Is it a couple hours, 3 or
About
4?
an hour and a half.
About an hour and a half.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. They're done listening to me. I've run through it. I don't sit there and watch the clock. Sometimes it may take a couple hours, but usually it's about an hour and a half.
So there you guys go, man. If you're looking, you got a brand new electronic system set up for 2024. And you're new to this whole entire thing. Like I said, check out the courses first. Make sure you check those out. Question: how much are the courses? By the way.
So the video course that's on my website right now, it is $49.99. Get you all the content. It's barely cheap.
Guys, for $49, you're going to get a crap load of information from Mike that you're not going to get anywhere else. And this ain't a sales pitch. I'm just saying, you're dropping $5,000 on some of these electronics. That's just one system now. And you guys are buying multiples. And for you said about 30 hours of content, 30 shows.
30 there's 30,
classes.
There's 5 modules, there's 32 lessons. I don't know how. I think it's maybe an hour and a half's worth of video content.
So let's say 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, if you sit down while it's snowing at your house and watch his content, man, and then go out there and start playing with your system. And if you can't figure it out, schedule a day with Mike. Get on the water. I know you kind of do some little organizing with that. And he, because Mike is Mike and it's just him. So, I mean, he kind of likes to do more than, work with more than one person when he does go to a lake, because travel and all that isn't included in that. So, guys, check out the courses. But tonight, guys, we're going to dive into expos, and it's expo season again. And me and Mike were talking before the show. We're going to be on the road, both of us. We're home this weekend, but the next 3 we're gone. And it's just great to get out. It's great to see people. It's great to put a face with names. And, we all have a big social media following. Thank you for all that. Mike does as well. But it's great to get to meet you guys, talk to you, and, talk electronics and just talk bass fishing. So let's dive into the 2024 Expo season with you, man. First of all, guys, give everyone this Facebook page, YouTube page, because Mike does something really cool with all the vendors. I'm going to let him talk about it with you guys, but I've watched a couple different episodes that he does with the vendors, and you're not going to, I want to tell you this, you don't get this with any other show out there that I know of. The length that Mike goes to promote you and your brand, you don't get it with Bassmaster. You don't get it with Red Crest. You don't get it with another couple shows I know. What Mike and him do at the Tennessee show is awesome. So talk to us about the video, that video content you and the exhibitors put out.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it happened by mistake. I've had a long-standing relationship with the folks, Sheila Bunch, the East Tennessee Fishing Show, and it took me a couple of years to get her to warm up to what I kind of wanted to do, and help her out with the show. She was running the whole thing by herself virtually, and slowly but surely each year we'd get a little more done, and I basically run all the seminars for her now. So I work with all the seminar guys as well as doing seminars too, and I do all that scheduling and help with a bunch of the media leading up to the show and things. But when COVID happened, back in 2019, 20, whatever that was the year that the show got canceled. So Sheila and I were talking, and this was So the show was supposed to happen in January, third week of January. We're talking the end of December when she knew things were going to cancel. And we were saying, well, we can't let these dealers down. That was her words. I can't let my dealers down. We got to do something for them. She
That's
says,
awesome.
think about it. So I thought for a couple of days, I did some research. I started to think about some things, and I said, well, how about we do a virtual show online? She says, great. How are we going to do that? I go, I don't know yet. So basically what we did is we, in 3 weeks, we put together an entire virtual show. We broadcasted for 7 straight days,
Wow.
8 hours a day. And we brought on almost every single one of the vendors that would have been on that show. I forget how many we had. It was hundreds. Maybe just a little 5-minute piece with some people, a little longer piece with others.
Yeah.
We had a whole show schedule. It was free. Nobody paid a dime for that. We did it all on our own time, and it got tremendous amount of views. Because nobody could go anywhere. Number
Yeah.
one, so
Yeah.
everybody's by their computer, and we blasted all this stuff out live. And halfway during the week, Sheila calls me and says, "Hey, do you want to turn this into a TV show?" I go, "All right, can I finish this first?"
That's so cool.
And that's just her personality, just the way she is. And what was born out of that was what's called the Outdoor Showcase. So it's kind of a pod. I guess it'd be a vodcast because it's video based.
Right.
But we broadcast on the Outdoor Showcase Facebook page, as well as East Tennessee, Alabama Fishing Expo Facebook pages. But then we also have our own Amazon and Roku channels. So we have a dedicated Outdoor Showcase Amazon channel and a Roku channel.
You guys heard it here first. I didn't know that.
Yeah, which is really cool. So the shows air social media, and then they get dumped on Amazon. So you can go back and watch every single episode of the Outdoor Showcase for the last 3 years. So Sheila and I host the show, and we bring on, whether it's a seminar feature that we've got at the show, or a vendor, or a dealer, or a tackle manufacturer. We're starting to go out on the road and do like special interest pieces. We did a thing with Rob Cochran, with Jaw Jacker. He's a legend.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
In the crankbait, handmade crankbait industry. I wanted to get up close and personal and see how he's making his stuff. And we didn't divulge secrets, but we got a little background of how he got started, which
right.
I think it's really interesting, the history of all this stuff. So we've turned it into a little bit better production. I have a blast doing it. We air a show every single week from September through the end of March.
There you guys go, man. So check out the show. Like I said, I mean, I've seen the show, checked it out, seen it on social medias where I've actually seen it, but it's cool knowing it's on Amazon and Roku.
Yep.
So you guys can check that out there if you're not a big social media fan. It's on YouTube as well, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and YouTube, and then all the Facebook pages.
Yeah. So 2024, guys, like Mike said a little while ago, talking about them hand painted crankbaits. I tell people all the time, the first time I ever went to the show has been, oh geez, it's probably been at least 8 years ago. We started going down there. We just wanted to mix it up. We wanted to check it out. We heard about the show, and people said it's a lot of unique items at this show. What you got to tell us all of it, but from yourself, you like I said, you've been doing it for quite a while. What can people expect? Just a couple of unique items that they can expect to see at the show.
It's until you've been there, it's hard to describe to somebody, because people have been to sport shows. There's sport shows all around the country this time of year, and this is the biggest collection of custom and handmade tackle anywhere in the country under one roof.
True.
That's the best I can describe. There are people, and I talk to Sheila about this. We talk about this all the time. That there's vendors and little companies that this is the only show that they do. Wow. Maybe it's the only one they can afford. It's the only time they get out. They don't have any social media presence. They just they rely on the East Tennessee Fishing Show for them to, make their year. And that's people come out by the droves to, kind of like these, you know, companies that just specialize in one little thing. And I don't get a chance to walk around the show a whole lot because I'm so busy, but um, when I do, I try to take it all in because if there's stuff you see that's so unique.
I want to pick up where Mike said I get to walk around the show, and I want to tell you guys this. I've there, like he said, Mike said, there are vendors from all over the United States, and I really mean that. I talked to like one vendor a year ago, and I've actually seen him in a couple different expos since then. But I mean, we're talking about states, many, many states away. They were like from Arkansas or something like that. I mean, they
Yeah.
were ways away. So, I mean, like he said, guys, you're going to see people from all over the globe at this show, on top of people that come from out of town, like me, and the other people that I've encouraged to come from out of town. I actually brought a couple different friends with me every year, and a lot of families have started coming. I don't know if it's because of me bragging on it, but there were going to Tennessee. A lot of you guys like Tennessee. It's a really cool place. I like the beach. I ain't gonna lie, but a lot of you guys like the Tennessee, and it's a cool family event that you can wrap up, and you get to head on over and check out all the great gear that's at the expo. All right, we always talk about this as well. A lot of people, the kids love it seeing the pros. The pros are, you can't have an expo without a pro.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that kind of brings them in, and the kids love the pros, love the autographs, and they get photos with them now, and all the great things. Who are some of the pros that we'll be seeing in 2024?
And I was just about to mention that. So you were reading my mind. So we have a really good list of guys coming in the show this year, um, and some new people,
Ooh,
which is really nice. And I've had a chance to have them all in the outdoor showcase and get a chance to talk with them. Couple of guys I've not met before, just physically talked to them or interviewed them.
right.
And some others that I've known for an awful long time. Shaw Grigsby, my good buddy, he's coming back. He's going to be at the East Tennessee Fishing Show. He's always
Oh
a
yeah.
great guy to have, a wealth of knowledge and just great with the fans. That can't say enough good things about Shaw. Um, Another very good friend of mine who I've known probably 40 years, Bernie Schultz.
Oh, Bernie's coming.
We have been trying to get him at the East Tennessee Show, and it just worked out. Everything worked fine this year. He's usually had an antique lure expo that he does in Florida that's consumed that time. So whatever schedule worked, it worked. So
Well,
that
good.
was great. We have some new people. Maddie Wong from
My boy
Elite.
Maddie's coming. Are you serious? I
Yeah,
didn't see
yeah,
that.
by the yes.
Yeah, me and
I
the
just
Wong are down, man. Wong's been on the island
yeah,
fishing the last couple of days because we've been hitting each other back and forth on social media. So, guys, the Wong
yeah.
is the man, and he
He's
will
I have
talk till he falls on the floor.
yeah, I've not had a chance to meet him, but he is coming to the show. Uh,
Woohoo! Will he be there
Skylar
all
Hamilton,
3 days? By the way.
yeah, Skylar Hamilton,
Okay.
a
Yes.
great guy to have at the show. Another guy who I just met for the first time, the internet here, doing an interview with him, Nick Kuspis from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
One of the Megabass guys.
Yes.
Really good wealth of knowledge. Him talking about catching giant smallmouth bass. He's going to be a blast.
That is awesome. And like I said, I mean, that's a great lineup. Bernie, I've never seen Bernie Schultz do a fishing expo. So this is going to be one for the ages because I've been to a lot of them in my 12 years, and I've never, me personally, you guys might have, but me personally, I've never seen Bernie a one. And it's really cool having my boy Matty Wong there. So that's going to be awesome. Get to hang out with.
And John Murray, of course. John Murray always a staple at the East Tennessee
Yes.
Show. They're doing some stuff, and it is, wouldn't be right to talk about just bass guys. We are a multi-species event, so
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be catfish and striped bass and walleye. Captain Jim Durham is going to be there doing a bunch of stuff. Actually, Skylar's talking crappie fishing.
Oh,
He's Skylar has got his captain's license, and now he is running a guide business when he's not fishing out on Douglas Lake, and he's been catching crappies like crazy, and that's we're picking his brain this year on the crappie stuff. So that's what he's going to be doing.
yeah. So like you just said, there is going to be a wealth of knowledge dropped in Tennessee the end of January, guys.
And I'll be there too.
And Mike will be there too, as well. And Mike always, gets up on the tank, does a couple of little seminars as well. So that's pretty freaking awesome. And you're at a booth, and you're sponsored by Texas Roadhouse. Are you
Yes.
still with them?
Yes. 20, starting my 21st year this year with them.
Holy cow, guys. Yeah, so I mean, Mike's had the Texas Roadhouse boat for quite a long time, wrapped with them, and you're almost. I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to say this, but you and who is it from down in North Carolina, Mr. Bojangles himself. You guys are about the same run as. It's cool to see someone.
Yeah, Guy Aker.
Guy Aker. Yep. Thank you. You and Guy. I mean, that's pretty cool to see someone that has been with a company that long and been associated with a company, a brand, and a company that long. Something you don't see anymore.
Yeah, I don't know how long Guy's been with Bojangles. It's been quite a while. It's a rarity, and I was in the right place at the right time with the right company, and that's just how it worked. And they are a phenomenal company and people to work with. And
Yeah, guys, I want to take us a step further on what he just said right there on that part. The right place at the right time. Guys, I fuss at you all the time, and I will continue to fuss at you. Guys, if you got a place, a parade, an event, anything that you can put your boat in to shake some hands, you want to go speak at your first fishing tournament, I don't care if it's 50 to 100 people. If the right person is there, it could change your life. That day that you said, I might waste, and I might waste it. If you really want to meet your fishing goal of being a professional angler, that one day right there could change your life. And, and you might not even get paid for it. I mean, it's just being in front of people. And, it's a couple photos up on social media. There's a lot of people listening to Joe. I'm just throwing a name out there. But I mean, guys, I'm sorry. That's why I go to these expos. For me, I get to hang out, talk to the pros as well. But it's just getting to see family, friends, and people that I've been a part of since, I started this whole entire crazy world of bass fishing.
yeah,
Now, go ahead.
yeah, it's funny. The whole Roadhouse thing came about because I ate in one of the restaurants and had never been in one. When I moved to South Carolina before moving to Tennessee, there was a Texas Roadhouse in town. And back then, they were 21 years ago. They had just about 100 stores, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I had never eaten one. And I was actually talking with another pretty big restaurant chain to do something. We wanted to do a wrap truck, a wrap boat,
Right.
Putting a deal together, trying to figure out what to do. And I went in the Roadhouse with a buddy of mine. I said, "Oh, you got to come try this place, Texas Roadhouse." And so we went in, and the minute I walked in the door, something happened, and I looked around and went, "This is great.
That's awesome.
This is what I want to be associated with."
That is so awesome.
I put the other deal on put the brakes in that other deal, and spent a year working on the Roadhouse deal. And 21 years later, here I am.
So, like you guys said, I mean, Mike's been up here. We've had the opportunity to hang out, fish Smith Mountain Lake. I mean, he's done some BFL fishing up here around our area. So he knows Smith Mountain Lake pretty daggone well, guys. Done pretty good on Smith Mountain Lake. For you guys that don't know, I'm not going to dive into what you had going on in the past because, you've had some issues. Last year, I don't think you could stand up. But yeah.
Yeah, I had a I had a weird back issue going on.
But we don't want to highlight on that, but we want to know what's your
Uh,
plan for 20. Are you gonna hit the water this year?
I
Are you
yeah,
gonna
and I hit the water last year, although I had a really bad. I mean, I just it
we
was one
weren't
of those
feeling
years
good,
where,
Mike? It just happens, man.
well, it was one of those years where the, the places where I should have caught them, I didn't, and the places where I shouldn't have caught them, I did. And the fish I should have caught, I caught, and the ones I shouldn't have caught, I still didn't catch. So it's just one of them things. But I had opportunity to do real well, and it just fish come off and stupid little things. But
Hey, it
I
happens.
am super excited. Sometimes a little bit of change is good,
Uh-oh.
and I'm switching a couple of things. I looked at a lot of stuff. Well, I looked at a couple of things, and I settled on the ABA Top 150 Pro Series
Oh, you're gonna fish the new series.
in the ABA Pro League.
Okay, yes.
So both are no co-anglers,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
which is kind of nice. Um, but really, what set me apart picking them, and I started, I fished ABA stuff back in the early 2000s. I don't know if you remember that they started a tour called the Grand Slam, and they
Yes,
were
I
trying
do
to take
remember
some
that.
of their weekend tournaments and bring them next level. And there was a
Yep.
multi-day
Yep.
event, and they were giving a boat away at every tournament. And they were really putting some advertising and some money into this. And I jumped on and fished them and did really well. It was a really well run deal, and it just didn't take off. Well, the ABA, the Top 150 Pro Series, is very similar in entry fee and multiple day events, no co-anglers,
Nope.
going to fish some good lakes that I missed fishing other trails. But the Pro League is unique that you can fish any event in any division, and they take your top 1 day tournaments. I think it's three of them, and then your top 2 day tournament, which is one of those. This is different from the Top 150 Pro Series. That's
Right.
just
Right.
a different deal. But the Pro League was nice because I can go pick and choose lakes that I like to go fish around the country. So,
That's
so I
awesome.
picked about 10 or 12 of them, and I'm going to fish a whole bunch of them traveling around places that I missed fishing.
Are you
Nearly, I love fishing near Lake Martin, love fishing near the Chick, all these other places. Old
they're
Hickory,
coming, guys, they're coming to Bugs Island. So I think they got 3 tournaments on Bugs this year. And I think
yeah,
it's down on the North Carolina side of Bugs, but they are coming
yeah.
to Bugs Island this year. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping to get to one of those. I know there's another tournament series, the Elite 70s. They're doing a single boater as well. And in 2024, Cat's doing some single boater events as well. So we're starting to see that being the trend in 2024. Guys, I wrote a story about that, put it up on the website. A lot of you guys read it. Really appreciate you on reading that. And the question was, is forward facing sonar and all the new electronics that Mike does a lot with, are we just kicking the co-angler out of the boat when we can come down there and pick all the fish up off the water? And you ain't go catch everyone, guys, but you catch a lot of fish, and a co-angler doesn't have much behind him, or you already got the water stirred up, or you've already lost a couple and they ain't gonna bite no more for a while. So I mean, it's kind of unique seeing what forward facing sonar has brought. Now, that's my opinion. You take it what you want, but that's what I think a lot of this has happened. A lot of people said, hey, I don't like the co-angler. I got forward facing sonar now. And some of you guys don't want to tell the co-angler where you fish because on the weekends he fishes out of his boat. So a lot of changes coming for 2024 in regards to that. So cool. ABAs. It's going to be really cool. Hopefully I'll get to see you one of those events. Like I said, I am going to try to make it down to Bugs Island to one of those events, do a little weekend event with them and see how it goes. And, I think it's based on about 250 anglers. I think 250 anglers. I think it's what it's based on, or
So
500, isn't it? It's something way up there
no,
number.
I think it depends. They've got like 5 or 6 different tours, so they
Right.
still have their weekend deal. The top 150 it's capped at 150, and I think the Pro League is as well.
Okay, so it's
Not
150.
100% sure, but yeah.
I might have my numbers backwards because, guys, I ain't gonna lie, that came out 2 months ago. This stuff was all going down. Maybe 3 months ago, this was going down. So it's been a lot of stirring in the pot in the world of bass fishing over the last few months, and a lot of great things are going to come out of it. With everything, it always happens. So, but before we go, Mike, again, man, we appreciate having you on the show. Really excited to get down there and hang out with you and Sheila, guys. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Sheila works her ass off at this show. I'll never forget it. I was sitting dinner one time, and I go to a lot of shows. I don't see the people that run the shows. Sheila was running out, passing out bags to people. She was handing out cards to people. I mean, she was all over this place. She was taking tickets at the door.
Yeah.
She was doing whatever she had to do to get you in out of the cold and into the expo to have a great time. And you're going to have a great time there because there's tons of different vendors. And like Mike said, there's so many different. And that was a cool thing that I pushed about the show, and I'll never stop pushing it. There's so much unique stuff, hand painted stuff. And like I said earlier, I bet you 80% of the vendors there are independent vendors. These are people who build their own websites. They bag their own products. Their buddies in the garage bag them over the weekend and ship them out.
Yep.
They pour their own, pour their own molds. I mean, they do a tremendous lot for this expo. And like you said, a lot of them, this is their only expo for the year. They're small. They ain't got the money for one, because you're talking about I did an expo. It's at least $1,000. And that's not even if you bring product. If you bring product, it's $2,000, $3,000 for an expo for a couple days. And that's stay in hotels. And if you bring all your buddies, and if you guys all crash in one room and split and somebody sleeps on a couch for 3 days. So, I mean, or get an Airbnb, either way. So come on out to the East Tennessee, Knoxville. I call it Knox Vegas Fiction Expo. And like I said, you guys are going to have a great time and get to meet a lot of great people. Besides the show, there's a lot of other great stuff you can do around the town. There's so many different places you can eat, so many different places we don't have around here to eat. But like I said, it's just so many places. And, there's a lot of attractions right down the road. That's what we're going to do this year. We're going to be at the show all day on Friday. I want to hang out with Bass Geek, my co-host, and we're going to hang out with him and do some content and meet people and greet. So please come see us at the booth. I'll have some Basscast Radio stickers to pass out. And I know Geek will have his stickers as well. So I want to hang out with him. And then, the Saturday, we're just going to hang out around town and explore and get to meet new people and hang out. This year, guys, we're doing something really cool with Basscast Radio. For you guys who don't know, I was given I don't know how, I was picked, I guess, by Amazon and given a store this year and so the Basscast has its own Amazon store. And our goal this year, every guest that's on Basscast Radio, we're going to ask them their favorite winter product, whether it's tackle, or outfit, or whatever it is that they like to use during the winter. And then we're going to put it on our store under the Basscast Radio Show and put it under Mike's name. And you'll be able to go there and see what Mike mentioned. And if I can throw the link in there for the show, I'm going to do that as well. So we're going to do that through every show from here out on there, because you don't want to see you guys don't give a crap what I think about anything. But, Mike, what's your top winter bait, or what's your top recommendation for wintertime bass fishing, man?
So, and it can be anything.
It can be anything, brother. You give me two, just in case right. That wide world of Amazon doesn't have it, but I have a feeling they do. So,
and I don't even know if they'd have it, but I mean, you've seen the new Crush City stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you've got an umbrella rig full of mayors, let's say, that would be a good place to start and being able to catch some fish. And if you don't have an umbrella rig, you can just put it on a jig head and fish it right by itself.
All right. So you guys heard right there. Like I said, we're going to try to add that to our Amazon store. and you guys will be able to go there and purchase. Right now on the Amazon store, guys, is picks from our pro staff and staff. We don't deal. I had a pro staff a long time ago. I hate that word. Never use it again. But our staff has put up there. Alicia, Danielle, Bruce, Jacob have all put items up there that they recommend you purchasing. And either, Justin Largan, who is our kayak guy, he's got a bunch of stuff he put up there as well. So there's a wide range of products on there for you guys to check out and purchase. And don't forget, it helps the basscast.com as well as Basscast Radio pay the bills. And I don't know what they give us, but we'll take what they give us. So either way, we appreciate you guys checking out our brand new Amazon store and what did I say? I'm a influence marketer. That's what they said. They gave me an influence store. Yeah, because of thank you guys, because of our Instagram account. We have over 20,000 followers on that. I'm not bragging at all. It's all because of you. And we say thank you to you. And that's why I got an an Amazon affiliate store. And we're going to make it for you, about you, and give it all to you. So thank you guys for being a part of that. Mike, man, anything you got for us that we should know before we show up at the end of the month?
Yeah. So
it's what, 26th, 27th, 28th?
25.
The 25.
Through the 28th.
Yep.
Doors open at 2 p.m. on Friday, and they close at the end of the show Sunday at 5 p.m. Every day is different, but it's going to be rocking all 4 days. Can't wait for it. Got tons of stuff. If anybody wants to check the sonar stuff out before they get there to the East Tennessee Fishing Show, they want to check the course out. It's get-sonar.com. get-sonar.com. Pretty easy.
All right, we're going to have that in the show notes as well, guys. So you guys can head on over and check that out and, go check out the courses, get signed up. Mike would, I kept, me and Mike talked about it for a while, guys, about having him up here in Central Virginia doing one of those classes, and would like to get him back up here. COVID hit, the world got crazy. We're settling back down, and I still want to get Mike up here and have him do and the building I was going to have it in, Mike, since COVID has been destroyed, and now there's a roundabout there. But I have another location at a hotel. I think I can get that for us. So, guys, we're it's got its own room, and they've been trying to promote it. It's right next to Liberty University, so it's not far away. You can jump on 29 or 460 and go home for all you guys that live locally. And we're going to bring Mike up here and get him to do one of his talks and get you guys psyched and help you guys learn more about your electronics. So, Mike, thank you for being on tonight's show. Thank you for being a part of the podcast. And I'll see you in a few weeks, brother.
Yep, it'll be here before we know it.
You got that right. All right, guys, man, I really appreciate Mike coming on and talking with us tonight about Tennessee show, man. It's a great show. If you are anywhere close, please come out, hang out with us. Like I said, I'll have some Basscast stickers, and love to meet you, talk to you, and thank you for listening to Basscast Radio. Hey guys, before you leave tonight, one quick thing, man. Basscast Radio is not free. We need your help. We don't want your money. We don't really want your time. All we'd like for you to do is hit the share button when this comes out. Hit the share button on social media, and hit the share button and follow button on YouTube, Basscast Radio. We got our own channel on YouTube. You guys asked for it. You wanted us to split away from the regular Basscast, so you can just go listen to the podcast there if you want to watch them. And just hit the like and the share button and the follow. Wherever you listen to podcasts, hit the follow button. That way you never miss an episode. And like I said, guys, I don't want to reveal guests. We talked about that. Me and Mike talked about that earlier, because you never know what might happen. But we got some big names coming up right here the next few weeks on Basscast Radio. If you'd like to be a guest on Before the First Cast, we'd love to have you on there as well. That's our brand new 15-minute podcast that I introduced last year. It's really cool to get people on and just, 15-minute conversation, in, out, boom, gone. And you can listen to it on the way to work. like I said, Bass Case Radio is. We try to keep it to an hour or under. And really appreciate you guys checking it all out and being a part of that. So have a great weekend, everyone. Please be safe. Around here, they're calling for some crazy weather. Actually, calling for some crazy weather here in Central Virginia the next couple of weekends. And guys, if you want to track the weather for what's happening around here, you can head on over right now to thebasscast.com and click the link 24/7 weather and stay up to date. So that way you can be safe while you're out on the water. So have a great weekend. We'll be talking to you later. Bye.